Hello friends! I'm here to present to you a quick little lecture on the use of yoga props and what yoga props are. So I'm going to introduce you to yoga props. So you'll see here there's a yoga mat, a block, a strap, and a blanket. These are sort of our basic yoga props. So what are yoga props and why are they used? Yoga props are various physical tools that aid in the successful expression of a yoga posture. Yoga props also allow the yoga practitioner to experience support when performing postures. Yoga props can support the yoga practitioners in cases where the body is tight or injured or in need of changing habitual things like posture. Yoga props can aid in experiencing deeper states of relaxation. Yoga props can be used in yoga therapy to help with various ailments such as chronic illness or during menstruation. And yoga can be practiced with or without props. So here's a quick list of yoga props that you'll find in many yoga classes in the modern world. We have the yoga mat, the yoga strap or belt, yoga block or brick, yoga bolster, blanket, yoga chair, wall, and ropes. Okay, let's look at the yoga sticky mat. So here I have an image of a yoga sticky mat, several of them, different colors, different fabrics, different thicknesses. And so the yoga sticky mat, the basic fundamental idea behind that is to have something that has a little bit of grab to it. This is primarily to be used during our standing poses so that we don't slip and hurt ourselves. There are many other uses for them, but basically this is the main prop that you will want to purchase for a class. Next is the yoga strap. The yoga strap is useful for a lot of forward bending, also some shoulder stretches when we have particularly tight hamstrings or tight shoulders. Next is the yoga block. And the yoga block is used to primarily help us in standing poses, especially when we bend down and we can't touch the floor and stay in alignment. A lot of the props, especially blocks, keep us in alignment. And you'll see here there's a cork block on the right, and then on the left you have what's called a foam block. So they come in different materials. Next is the yoga bolster. And here there are many shapes and sizes to the yoga bolster. You'll primarily see a lot of them in the shape that is in the purple and the green, sort of like this rectangular shape. And they are used also to support the back, to help us relax deeper in some of the more quiet poses that we will do, and to support also the knees as well. All right, the next prop here is the yoga blanket. And the yoga blanket would be another good investment, I would say. You don't have to buy a yoga blanket specifically, but any type of thin blanket. Here you'll see that the picture shows these what are called Mexican blankets. These are used quite commonly in yoga. They have a nice tight weave and they're thin. That's really important. They're used as another support system for the knees and upper back. Yoga blankets can also be used as a meditation cushion or a way to prop up the hips in seated postures when the back and hamstrings and hips are tight. So that's a good one. And also you can use it to support your head when lying down. All right, the next prop here is to see the yoga chair. And obviously we're practicing from home in Zoom, and I don't expect you to have this prop available. But I wanted you to just see that it's another extension of what we use in yoga to support deep stretches. Also, there's a whole line of yoga practice that's called chair yoga, and it's used for people with limited mobility, and also say that you can't sit on the floor comfortably. The chair can also be used to support you in balancing poses. So even if you have just a folding chair from home, we can make that useful. All right, next is the wall as a prop. So what would be good for you is to prepare your space with about just as little as maybe 3 feet wide of unobstructed wall space. As you can see here, the model on the left, she is having a nice little back stretch, gentle back stretch with no pressure really on the wrists and stretching her hamstrings. This is one use of the wall. Another use of the wall is on the right. The model on the right, she has her legs extended up, and you can see she's got a blanket under her lumbar spine and lower back, right? Lower and middle spine, and a blanket for under her head. So this is a nice restorative posture that brings the blood flow down from the feet. All right, and then the last but not least is the yoga ropes, and this is used primarily in the Iyengar tradition. And just wanted to just show you here, this model here is in a position that's supporting his pelvis. He's getting a good stretch to the upper back. He's also getting a good stretch to the shoulders. As you can see, he's pulling on the ropes here that are attached to the wall, and his feet are propped up on blocks, and he's got blankets under his shoulders. So this is to give him traction and deep opening of the upper back. And finally, no props. So what is the best prop of all is your body. So that we will be using most definitely. All right, so that concludes the brief presentation on yoga props. Thank you.